Okay, hello everybody and welcome back. I really hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be drawing a map of Germany. Now before we get going, if you enjoy this video today, then please consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps me out and just lets me know that I'm on the right track. And also leave a comment down below if you enjoy anything you like about the video, slash, anything you know about Germany, or if you've ever been to Germany, etc., etc. Please let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. So we are going to be drawing a map of Germany as it is today. We've drawn a map previously of Germany in 1914, I believe it was. But it's different today. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the history of the country, and also we're going to be drawing the states of Germany in this map as well. So, with that said, I think we should get going, don't you? So, I'm going to start down here. So yeah, as I say, we have done Germany before, and that video has done quite well. You guys seem to enjoy that one, so I thought we could spin it a little bit and do Germany today. And I feel slightly more qualified to talk about Germany than any other place that isn't the UK. As Germany is, I think I've mentioned this a few times before, but Germany is the country that I've been to the most other than the UK. I've been 4 times to Germany. So I think I have at least a little bit of knowledge to impart, slash won't make myself look like a fool talking, which is quite often. So usually I'm less talkative in this section, as I'm trying to focus on getting the map right. And it's not necessarily the shape, as is the case with these maps. Often it's getting the size right. Making sure it all fits and it's all proportionally correct. That's the main challenge that we face. Excuse me, so there's some strange old shapes going on here that I didn't realise. So yeah, as I say, the plan is we're going to, let me go across the bottom. I want to finish about here, so the plan is to draw at the outline, then we're going to draw the states, then we'll do some cities, rivers, and then we'll talk about the history of the country, because it's not as straightforward as it may seem at first. across like this. Yeah, it's not the most straightforward, but it's also it's probably not the most difficult one we've done. Okay. So we're moving back up on the other side now. I kind of want to connect them at the top because the top's a bit more complex than the bottom. So I want to get to about here. It's about there. Yeah, okay, something like that. And then we move back east. Czech Republic is just here. Yeah, a little bit further than that. And then now we're going back north more straight. Okay, so we're now straddling the coast to the Baltic and the North Seas, respectively. North Sea this side, Baltic Sea this side. I find it easier to come from left to right, so we'll do that. And then up here is where Denmark is. So roughly this is the shape. And then we've also got a small island there. draw the state borders. So hopefully they come up in this brown pen. So brown pencil. It's a pencil. Now these are going to be, I don't know, I'm going to try and make them as, correct as possible, but inevitably I think that some of them might not be as detailed as they could be. So I'm just going to draw them all, and then I will write the names in. From about here, I just again marking so I don't get the proportions wrong. Then these some of these state borders are more complex than the actual national border itself, which is slightly annoying. Let's go. So next one is here. And then so from about the middle of here we come east. So there's another. Gosh, it's taking a bit longer than I anticipated. just have to bear with me a second. I want to make sure these are right, otherwise I'll get crucified. And then this one I can come in from here, yes. And that meets at this tip here. And then we've got a couple more. This one just meets a tiny bit above this line. And then we have a couple of smaller ones within. Okay. Apologies that took so long. So, where's my pencil? Here's my pencil. So, we have Bayern, or it's known in English as Bavaria. I just need to make sure that I'm not writing these names where I want to draw cities. Where do I want in those two? So I need to go down the middle here. So that is Baden-Württemberg. This is... I'm not going to be able to fit that in. So that's Saarland, or Saarland. That's Rhineland-Pfalz. I think it's best I do this one up here. That's Hessen. Nordrhein-Westfalen. This one here is... Where can I write this one? Niedersachsen. Saxon, or Saxony, is more commonly known as. Brandenburg. Mecklenburg, Vorpommern. I don't know why they all have such long names. This one's going to be difficult to fit in. Schleswig-Holstein. Sachsen-Anhalt. And I'm going to leave these three because the name of the state is the same name as the city that we're going to put in there, so it makes sense to just, keep it as that. Okay, speaking of cities, actually, let's do water first. So near enough, everything up here is water. From here. Yeah. Just smoothing those edges off. And then from here also. All the way across. So about here. And I'll draw. I think it'd be easier to denote that. So this is the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. Okay. That's not the right colour pencil, this one is. Here we go. Okay. So, which one am I writing this with? Here we go. Golden pen. There is your capital, Berlin. Hamburg. So there are your three city-states: Berlin, Hamburg, Bremen. And then what else am I going to do? So I think the next big city is, or the next biggest, is down here. Munich or München. Here. Dresden. And then just in the west side of Sachsen. Leipzig. Erfurt. In Baden-Württemberg. We have Württemberg, sorry. We have Stuttgart. We have Frankfurt. And Mainz. Then in Nordrhein Westfalen we have Düsseldorf. I'm trying to do one or two big cities in every state. I think Niedersachsen, the biggest city, is Hanover. In Schleswig-Holstein. I've written over where it should be. It's like here. And that is Kiel. Right, there we go. Kiel. In Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. Schwerin. Have we got any Sachsen-Anhalt? We have Magdeburg, who I think have recently gotten back into the Bundesliga, if I'm not mistaken, although that could be a different team, I can't remember. Have we missed any? Rheinland-Pfalz. What am I going to do for Rheinland-Pfalz? Koblenz, and then for Saarland. Saarbrücken. Okay. Right, okay, that's a fairly packed and busy map, as you can tell. The one last thing I need to do is... there's 3 rivers I want to put on, all of which are major rivers. 2 of them I think are more famous than the other, but... So, from here... through Koblenz, east and then down. That is the Rhine. The Rhine. You can spell it, I think, in British or in English we say Rhine, R-H-I-N-E, but in German it's R-H-E-I-N. This is probably the most major river in Europe, flows through many countries. The Danube. And then I think following this border, if I've got this right, so this river basically follows down to about here, and then it comes into Saxony-Anhalt through Magdeburg. And then down here through Dresden, and then out, and that is the Elbe. Okay. Blimey, that was a heck of a draw, wasn't it? So we're gonna just briefly go through a little bit of history. Now, as I say, it's not necessarily as black and white as you may think with, and as I say this actually, I'm going to I'm trying to find some space so I can write Germany. I think it may be here in Bayern. There we are. Okay, that'll do me. So, yeah, I think it's easy to think that Germany's been around for ages, and it has in comparison to some countries, but not necessarily in comparison to others. Typically, the land that Germany sits on has been divided into a high quantity of sovereign states, so things like principalities and duchies and like bishoprics and things like that. And some of those remain today. Places like Liechtenstein, I think Luxembourg as well, and places like that are sort of reminders of those times. And it was part of the Holy Roman Empire. But as time went on, the Holy Roman Empire sort of weakened, and there was a lot of infighting between its member states, nations, I guess. And in 1806, the Holy Roman Empire was dissolved. And so the land that made up Germany had a lot of uncertainty surrounding it in terms of what was going to happen and how it was going to be governed, etc. At the Congress of Vienna in 1814, so that's in the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars, which we have spoke about on the channel before. 1814, 39 states were unified into the German Confederation. Now, this was a union of German-speaking states of protection, but not necessarily political and economical unification. But yeah, later on in 1848, it was a time of a lot of revolutions around Europe, and there was an attempt to bring Germany together, and a national assembly was formed, but it didn't end up working out, and it fizzled out. Later on, several wars would ensue with, involving and even between German states like Prussia and Austria, who found themselves on opposite sides of a war. But in 1867, Otto von Bismarck, who you may recognise the name, who was the King of Prussia, created the Northern German Confederation, and this unified the Northern German-speaking states. And then, only a few years later, in 1870 to 1871, the aftermath of the Franco-Prussian War, in which Prussia defeated France, the German Empire was declared and Germany was unified. So, even after that, the borders of Germany have changed. If you go back and watch my German Empire in 1914 video, you'll see that it was completely different to this in terms of its borders. The border stretched out much more further east, as they took land off Poland. But yeah, over the past millennium, there's been so much, political and what am I trying to say? There's been so much political conflict in Europe, so the borders are subject to change. If you look at Europe in say 1200, it will be completely different to in 1300 in terms of the borders. So yeah, there's always caveats with these things. But yeah, that is a brief history of how Germany became unified. As I've mentioned before, I've been to Germany 4 times. I've been to Berlin, Dresden, Leipzig, Munich. I've been to Nuremberg, which is somewhere further up here. I've been to Frankfurt and somewhere in the Rhine Valley around here. Around Koblenz, I think. And I love Germany. I want to go back very soon. But yeah, I adore Germany. I think it's fantastic. Very welcoming and clean, and just, yeah, I really enjoy my time there. I know a little bit of German by virtue of me studying it at school for 5 years, but I haven't studied it properly in a number of years, so it's very rusty. However, I've started on Duolingo again, so yeah, potentially could be back to where we were at some point. But yeah, I mean, with that, I don't think there's actually too much else I need to say or want to say. This is probably the most detailed map we've ever drawn. I wanted to draw the states, and then as a result, I found myself wanting to put a city for each state. I actually think Mainz is in Rhineland-Pfalz, so I put Mainz on the wrong side of this border, but it's very roughly in this area. I think Mainz is just this left-hand side of this border, so that's my bad. But yeah, we all make mistakes, right? So with all of that, thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, and if you've made it this far, I want you to comment. What do I want you to comment? If you've made it this far, I want you to comment, I love Germany, let's spread some love. I'm thinking about introducing some channel memberships soon. I put this in a community post a while ago, but yeah, if you'd be interested, then there'll be more news to come with that soon. But otherwise, thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. I really hope you've enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.